I'm going to talk about common mistakes that people make when applying for remote jobs. I mean, it's really not easy. I know that the job market is quite demanding. There are a lot of competitions. So it's really wouldn't make sense not passing the application phase or not even getting your desired job just because of some mistakes that can be avoided. And I'm here to talk about them. Number one is using generic resume. Like you want to apply for customer service job, bam, you have carried a resume, just equally use it. You want to apply for executive assistant job, same resume. How about now? We know that you're a jack of all trades, and we know that you can wear many hats, but please try to tailor your resume. I have a video on my Instagram page that shows how you can tailor your resume for each job. So using the same company, but highlighting different skills and experience that you used during the course of your job with that company will help you to create diverse resume that you can use to apply for various jobs across various companies. So please, I'm begging you, let's not be lazy or ignore this important fact and try to be using one resume for all the jobs. Number two is ignoring the instruction of cover letter. I know because maybe you've been applying for jobs since morning, then you now go to where they're asking for cover letter. You're not like, I beg now, I'm not gonna start typing cover letter again. Yes, you can do this by yourself, easy. You can do different cover letters in one sitting. You go to ChatGPT or any AI tool that you use, you put in the job description for roles that you have decided that you want to you apply for jobs for, and then you add in your resume and you tell it to generate maybe 4 or 5 different cover letter using this job description and your resume for social roles, and it's going to bring it for you. Copy it, paste it in a Google document, rename it according to each role, and have it saved on your system or wherever it is that you're using to apply for jobs. And when it is time for you to apply for this role, you're just simply going to go and attach it so that you don't get exhausted or necessarily tired or skip application for jobs that may actually be your job because you're too lazy to put together a cover letter that you can do very fast and easy. Another thing that I want to mention is ignoring time zone. See, no jokes. There is a difference between WAT, PST, EST, CET, MST, EDT. In fact, there are lots of time zones that are there, and you'll be surprised. You may get a response from your application that asks you to come for an interview at 10 a.m. CET or 10 a.m. EST, and then just assume it's your time just because you couldn't do a quick Google search. Another thing that you can explore to avoid this kind of mistake is if you synchronize your email and then your Google Calendar, because Google Calendar will automatically put the meeting time to the time it is in your country. But then some people don't even use their calendar, which is absolutely fine as well. But a quick Google search can save you the trouble. Another thing I want to talk about is ignoring application questions and assessments. I mean, it's not a big deal. A lot of people are going to say, oh, when you're doing your application and then the assessment, they will ask you, you already attached your resume, and then they will now ask you, are you available to work in this time zone? Or they ask you, have you ever actually worked in this role? What were your major responsibilities? Or what were the tools that you explored to successfully carry out your roles? Some people will respond and say they're not responding to that question. You can just refer to their resume. It's already in their resume. This one, that one. The application manager that puts the question there, is it that they don't know what they're doing? Let me warn you guys, because I'm a recruiter myself. What happens is, first of all, an application manager is not going to ask you a question that they don't feel it is necessary. So if they ask you those questions, it won't take you anything. Sometimes the ATS that they use to shortlist candidates will use your CV and the response to your application to score you. So if you are forming refer to my resume, you may actually be qualified. Just because you are not able to respond to that question, you are going to lose out on the application. Another thing I want to talk about is you are applying for a remote job, but you are not highlighting your remote work skills, or you're not highlighting your remote work experience. For example, if you're applying for a remote job, if you are putting together your resume, if you have previous remote working experience, highlight those roles. If you work as an executive assistant, please put remote executive assistant, supporting C-suite level or co-founder, founder, whatever, to make your, that role, to make it look like you said Baba. So highlight if it is going to be, if it was a remote work, or if it was on-site, or if it was hybrid. If you have never worked remotely before, or even if you have worked remotely, for your skills, make sure you highlight remote friendly skills. Like collaborating with multiple teams across multiple locations, or managing multiple C-suite level executive calendar across multiple locations, or things like coordinating logistics across various international destinations, or collaborating with multiple executive assistants for various board members to put together board meetings, logistics, internal organization, and preparation for the board meeting. You can even already make sure you highlight the company. If it was in the UK, US, Hong Kong, make sure you also highlight the location, because this will also mean that you have had the ability to work across all of these different locations. Now, this one I want to talk about next is a common mistake that people make: applying for a job without researching the company, haba, or not even properly reading through the job description. Some of you will come and say, me, yesterday I applied for 100 jobs. You applied for 100 jobs, but did you read through the job descriptions? Some will actually highlight that it's a remote job, but if you check very well, they will tell you that they're not recruiting from your location. They will tell you it's remote, but candidates in social location will be preferred. So why stress yourself if you're not in that location? Some will tell you remote to UK or remote to US. So that means there's no need for you to apply. So please always read through the job description before you apply. Some will even tell you straight, point blank, not accepting application from Nigerians. Yes, and it's not because they hate you, or it's not because they don't want to employ Nigerians, but that is what they want at that point. In fact, let me tell you guys something. I was scoring an assessment for a company when I was helping them to do recruitment, and there was one candidate, because we have an AI tool that we normally use within the organization. And when she was responding to the assessment, she actually made reference to those AI tools that we use within our organization, which were specific to us. You will realize that she had made a research and know how we work and know what we even use that kind of tool for. Of course, she passed, because that means that she took her time to conduct the research, and then she took her time to pay attention to detail to respond to our question. So please and please, before you go for an interview or even proceed in any stage of application for any company, I mean, a quick Google search could help you. Few minutes to just read through the company and know how to incorporate your responses will really help you to have an edge over thousands of other candidates. Another mistake people make is going for interview without adequate preparation. Guys, I have made a video on Instagram that shows you how to read your recruiter's mind. Yes, you can read your recruiter's mind. And how can you do that? You can just take the job description, take your resume, put it on ChatGPT, and tell ChatGPT to please act as my recruiter for the role of a program operations manager. Use this description and the experience I have on my resume to put together potential questions that can be asked during the interview, and structure my responses with the information on my resume. And there you have it. You are going to prepare. Read ahead. When I'm doing my interview, I always have paper and barrel beside me that has notes from my preparation. And I used to tell my recruiters that that's how I work. In case they see my eyes strain, I'm just trying to bring out the point. Or sometimes, if you can just have the questions off the top of your head and prepare. And before you know it, it has boosted your confidence by 200%, because you already even know what you want to say. The only thing that is remaining is the way you're going to sit down and show them that you know what you're doing. Wear a nice smile and don't rush your words like a king and queen that you are. The final thing is for internet presence. I mean, especially if you're going to explore platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook, Twitter, social media platforms, please try to optimize your profile and have an online presence. Why this is very important is because sometimes companies conduct research about their candidate before they proceed to the next stage of the interview. Another thing they even do, especially for a company like mine, when we get candidates and we want to shortlist them or move them to the next stage, we look at their social media profiles. In fact, it is from their social media profiles that we create a brief bio and send to the clients so that they can shortlist them or maybe decide they want to move forward with them or not. Because we don't want to go and start raising false hope for candidates and reaching out to them for some information when we can easily get it online. Because if they realize a recruiter reached out to them for some information, they were already putting their mind. Meanwhile, if the clients don't now take them, what are we going to do? So try to have an online presence, optimize your profile if you're looking for a job, put your picture, put cover image, like you're the one looking for a job, so you need to put yourself out there. And your page needs to scream, I am a solution to your problem. So please make sure you work on your online presence. Internet connection and backup electricity is also very, very important. While you're searching for job, I mean, it may look like, anyway, I see they find money, make I can't go, they buy internet, buy this thing. It's fine. But even if it is as little as going to your friend's place when you want to do your interview, when you know that the internet in your house is not strong enough, it's not bad. I do it. In fact, I've had to wake up as early as 6 a.m. to go to my friend's place to take an interview because I know that the internet in my house was not working at the point. Not following up after your application is the last thing I want to talk about. If you apply for a job, I have a story where my rejection turned into acceptance and even puts me on a higher pay grade and level just because I was able to follow up after a rejection, not even after an application. So if you've applied for a job and probably they've reached out to you or you're convinced about your role, you can just look up the recruiter on LinkedIn, reach out to them, introduce yourself, tell them that you applied for a role, and then you're just following up to check if they have any updates for you. And then you'll be fine. Please and please, don't spend all your time applying for a job the wrong way and be wondering, why am I stuck in the application pool just because of these little mistakes? Thank you. Remember to subscribe to my channel and share this to your community. You just might be helping someone.